Hello friends, welcome to All-in-One YouTube channel. So we will be continuing our discussion of on global strategies to sustainable development. So as part of our first session, we will be looking into the genesis or the origin of the sustainable development goals. Okay, so we analyzed the PYQs in the previous video. Hope you all watched it and understand which are the important areas the new examiners are continuously focusing on. So you might have a doubt. Okay, so like the genesis of sustainable development goals has not been asked directly in the examination, but we should know about this. Okay, we should know about this because we will be learning or looking into some of the important conventions or summits, okay, regarding it. So we will be quoting those summits and the major decisions there in each and every answers that we write. Okay, whether it be any answer on any of the sustainable development goals, we will be bringing some names names of some summits and some like some terms like the agenda 30, like agenda 21, something like that. Okay, we'll be constantly bringing that into our introduction and conclusion to enrich our answer. Okay, so we'll be discussing such topics in this session. Hope you are all ready. So I hope you all already joined our channel for the materials, the Telegram channel, which link is in the description box. Okay, so let's start, right? So basically, what is sustainable development? Let's look into what sustainable development is. So as we all learn from the school itself, like the sustainable development. Sustainable development means like we are using the resources, but we are making sure we are not exploiting the resources such that the future generation will be able to use it, okay, for their needs. Okay, that if we have water as a resource, we are using the water, okay, but what happens nowadays, we are using it, we are over exploiting it, and we are polluting it, okay, by dumping our waste into the water bodies, okay, and over use of or the unscientific use of pesticides and fertilizers in the farms, okay, they also result in the degradation of the quality of our water bodies. So such a sustainable development means we will be using those water for our needs, but we are not polluting it. We will be ensuring its quality, its healthy life for the future use of the future generation. We will not be polluting it. Okay, so that is the definition of the term sustainable development. So while understanding sustainable development, we say there are three pillars to it, three important pillars to it. One is obviously the environment. The another is economy. Sustainable development, right? Development is already about economy of the nation. So sustainable development. The three pillars are economy, environment, and us, the society. These are the three pillars of sustainable development. Okay, now let's move on to understand the genesis of sustainable development. So we must know it was actually originated in 2015 in the UN General Assembly Convention. Okay, UNJ. The UNJ framed it. Okay. So now we will trace the history. So what all leads to the development of sustainable development goals in 2050. So we are going to start a way behind. That is in the 1972 UN Stockholm Convention. It is one of the important convention or conference ever happened. Because why it is so important? It was the first global conference in which environment was the core issue. Okay, there held many international conventions and conferences, but it was the first of its kind in which the topic environment was the core idea or the core agenda, okay, of the conference. So here some 26 principles were adopted. We don't have to get into the details of it. Okay, some 26 principles were adopted. Okay, that's all about that 1972 Stockholm Conference. Now we will move on to the next important event, that is a 1983 Brundtland Commission report. Brundtland Commission report. The report was titled Our Common Future. Our Common Future. Okay, Common Future. That was the name of the report or the title of the report. Brundtland Commission submitted this report. That is why we say it as, also known as Brundtland Commission report. The name of the report was Our Common Future. So what was the aim of this commission? The aim of this commission was to formulate a global agenda for environmental change. Okay, for the we need to change. We have that idea. The pollution is increasing, the ozone hole is depleting, and the pollution risks are increasing. Like it is also affecting our resources, our health. Okay, so we need to change. So the commission was trying to make a global agenda for change. Okay, so it was this commission which defined sustainable development, as we said before. What was sustainable development? It is a type of development. I will read the definition as per the what the report says. It is the type of development that meets the needs of the present generation, without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Okay, that's what I already said. Okay, so we will be using the resources. The present generation will be using the resources without compromising the ability of the future generation to use it. Okay, we are not depleting or we are not exploiting it fully. Okay, we'll be just using it and giving the remaining for the future use for the future generation. So that definition came from Brundtland Commission report. The report name was Our Common Future. So, okay, so we can bring it in introductions of our answers, right? These all. So moving on, then comes the another important summit, which was the 1992 Rio de Janeiro. It was in Brazil. Rio de Janeiro. It was occurred in there. Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. So it's actually the UNCAD, Conference on United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. Development organized it. Okay, or the name of the event was this, but it later it's mainly known as the Earth Summit of Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so we'll be using this term fully. So Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. So let's look into the achievements of the summit. Okay, 1992 Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. So while we deals with the achievement of this, we will see Rio Declaration was made. Rio Declaration. Declaration was made, which contained 27 principles. Just know it. Okay, don't buy out all this. Okay, so Rio Declaration was formed and UNFCCC was formed. United Nations. Okay, UNFCCC, UNCBD. Okay, Agenda 21. It is one of the important thing, Agenda 21, because the Millennium Development Goals and the SDGs are based upon this. Okay, so it laid the foundation. We can say it laid the foundation for Millennium Development Goals and SDGs. Okay, so that's where the contributions of Rio de Janeiro Summit 1992. So what were the full forms of UNFCCC and CBD? I will pause for a second. Do comment it in the comment section. I hope you get it. The UNCBD. The CBD is the Convention of Biological Diversity, while UNFCCC is the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Climate change is the most important issue right now that we are facing, right? As per the environment is concerned. Okay. And we will be moving on to the next important summit that happened in the year 2000. Okay, the Millennium Summit. The Millennium Summit at New York. The summit held at New York. So we know the SDGs were initiated or was introduced in 2015. So before 2015, we had other goals That goals were the Millennium Development Goals that we say as the MDG, Millennium Development Goals. So the introduction of that goals happened in 2000 in this summer. So let's check. So there were then 189 UN members. Okay, they agreed to set 8 goals. There were 8 goals and to achieve it by 2050. Okay, there were many goals, including avoiding extreme poverty and all. We don't need to by heart all that. Just know there were 8 goals and the target was 2050. Okay, but the success of this was not that equal. Some countries achieved some of it, while others achieved none of it, maybe some bit of it. That's all. It was the success was unequal. Success was fragmented and unequal. We can say fragmented and unequal. Okay, can say that. Then what happened? The MDG failed to capture other commitments in the Millennium Development Goals, including the commitments they had on governance, education. Okay, such commitments or the entire nations failed. Okay, failed to achieve it. Governance, education, and all. Okay, that's fair about the Millennium Development Goals. How many goals were there in the MDGs? There were 8. Okay, 8 goals. So now move on to the 2002 event. 2002 World Summit on Sustainable Development. World Summit on Sustainable Development. Okay, it happened. It is also known as the Rio plus 10 Summit. Okay, Rio plus 10 Summit. It happened at the Johannesburg in South Africa. Johannesburg in South Africa. And the major achievement was, it's known as the Johannesburg Declaration. Okay, Johannesburg Declaration was happened. What does this declaration do? It reaffirmed. Okay, it reaffirmed the global commitment to sustainable development. Okay, that we should follow the Millennium Development Goals and all. We should the entire nation should follow it. That was the part of or the idea of Johannesburg Declaration. Now moving on, we are closing to the introduction of our SDGs. So in 2012, let's see what happened. 2012, there was the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. Sustainable Development. United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. It is also known as the Rio Plus 20 Summit. Okay. It happened in the Rio de Janeiro. Okay. The outcome of this UN Conference on Sustainable Development 2012, the outcome was published in a report or the paper it published, that is The Future We Want, the name of it. Okay, The Future We Want. It was published in this report. Okay, so what does it say? It laid the foundation for SDGs. Okay, that's why it was happening in 2012. So it laid the foundation for SDGs. Okay, it laid the foundation for SDGs. Actually, the focus of this was post 2015. What should we do? There was a big uncertainty, right? So the conference tried to answer that. So it was trying to develop something like this and laid the foundation of SDG. Okay, and then comes the 2015, the year we announced the Sustainable Development Goals. So let's see what happened in 2015. So again, there was United Nations Sustainable Development Summit. United Nations Sustainable Development Summit. Like we earlier said, these all are organized by the United Nations General Assembly. Okay. Sustainable Development Summit 2015 happened at New York. Okay. Maybe some for your state exams. This might ask about where this summit happened. So there were 193 UN members then. They all agreed to it. They adopted a resolution. The resolution was titled. The title of the resolution was, you don't need to name these titles and all. Okay. So if you are able to, it's good. We can add it in the conclusions or introduction. Okay. So yeah, you can you can customize what you should learn or not. Okay, the title was transforming our world, transforming our world. The 2030 agenda. What is the 2030? Our goal is set for 2030. Okay, that's why the 2030. The 2030 agenda for sustainable development. Okay, this was the title of the resolution adopted by the United Nations General Assembly, or the result of the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit held in 2015. United Nations Sustainable Development Summit. Okay, so in the SDG, they announced the SDG goals. There were 17 goals and 169 targets. Okay, so 17 goals, and under each goals there were many targets. So cumulatively we can say there were 169 targets. Okay, these were the universal agendas. Okay, then they said the 5 P's of sustainable development. They considered the 5 P's. First P, what will be it? People. Any other P you can think of? Planet. Okay, any other P? Any other P? Prosperity. Peace. And partnership. These were the 5 P's considered as the 5 P's of sustainable development. We earlier studied what were the 3 pillars of sustainable development. Do you remember it? Check your notes. Society, environment, and what? Economy. Yeah, we need to look into all these aspects: economy, environment, and society. Yeah. So the five P's. What are the 5 P's of sustainable development? People, planet. We can say the people-planet partnership. Through the partnership, we have prosperity and peace. Okay, that's easy way to remember. You don't have to follow the order. Okay. So that was how the Sustainable Development Goals was originated. So that was the aim of our session. So in the next session, we'll be discussing about the SDG Goal 1. Okay. So do subscribe the channel to not miss out the contents. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you and have a great day.